This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Let's see. Let's put this here. Oh, wow, it works. No, it doesn't. Hey, what's going on, guys? Jay Shy here with another video, and I figure I'd do a video like this because it's been a while since I've been on the camera, and I kind of wanted to make like a talk video while I do this. I'm putting my my manga in their plastic bags, but plastic sleeves. But I figure I make this video because I kind of wanted to do something where it was like a discussion kind of thing, and it's kind of like a talking kind of vid where think of like a conversation, but I didn't really think this far into it, but I kind of wanted to have like this small discussion about kind of why I kind of like slowed down on like buying manga and buying video games and stuff like that. So a couple of days ago, I kind of realized that I was buying like a lot of manga, and I wasn't reading all of them, and it was because I was buying too many books too fast, to the point where it was hard for me to catch up because there's other things that I wanted to read or things I wanted to do. And I think one of the things that I definitely had a problem with at the time was I have like this weird issue with I have a lot of hobbies. Well, I did. I used to have tons of hobbies, and I would say me and my buddy would say, you know, kill our wallets, where that's kind of like a term that I kind of started, and then my friend Jim Graves got onto it, my buddy Jordan Alves got onto it, and we would kind of like spend our money on these things and just accumulate like just massive amounts of like just stuff. And I don't know what happened, but somewhere along the lines I kind of just like, I guess, stopped, I guess is the proper word. Like I just kind of toned down on like my spending. So before I used to have like, I would say about 5 different hobbies. One of the hobbies was, my first hobby for sure was collecting comic books. I used to collect a lot of comic books. I used to read comic books too, mostly because most of you guys know that I'm an illustrator. I used to draw a lot of comics, so I used to work for a lot of different publishers. So I felt the need to draw comics, read and collect comics because I drew them. And then somewhere down the road, I think I kind of like whittled my way into video game collecting, and that was like financially like taxing because video games are quite expensive, and so many new video games come out now, and now then I think after that it was card games. I was doing a lot of TCGs. I was playing Magic the Gathering, I was doing Yu-Gi-Oh, I was playing what's the other one? Cardfight Vanguard. I got into that. Thank my buddy James for that. Got into Cardfight Vanguard, and I got into Final Fantasy. I was playing Force of Will. I was just spending like a lot of money on these different hobbies. Sometime after that, I got back into building Gundam model kits. I would go out like every Friday and buy Gundam model kits, and you can just imagine the amount of money I was spending on these different hobbies because I was buying all these cards, I was buying all these Gundam model kits, and Gundam model kits can be quite expensive. They can be quite pricey, so I really had to like think about what I was really spending my money on at the time, because I was spending tons of it. And then I think after the Gundam model kits, then I got into the manga stuff. And then I noticed that was like another hobby. So I had like these 5 different hobbies where I was just spending loads of money. So I was buying boxes of cards, and I was also playing Final Fantasy at the time too. So I was spending my money on boxes of cards, different video games coming out for different months or years or whatever you want to say. I was spending on these 5 different trading card games, and I was buying Gundam model kits, and I started buying manga. So that was a lot of hobbies that I was getting into. Somewhere, I think it was like earlier this year, I don't know what happened, but I kind of got into this mode where I just said, you know what, I kind of want to stop. And I don't know why it happened. It just sort of just came up. Like, it even happened with like Shin Megami Tensei stuff. Like, I was going out, I was searching eBay like all the time for like Shin Megami Tensei stuff, just to have Shin Megami Tensei stuff. It wasn't like I was ever gonna like use it or anything like that, but I was buying like toys and all this stuff, and all of a sudden I kind of realized like I didn't really need all that Shin Megami Tensei stuff. And I think somewhere, I keep coming back to this and I keep rearing off track, but I got to this weird point, I think earlier this year, like I was saying, and is that, so I noticed that, this is too big. So I noticed that somewhere down the road, I just decided to stop. I don't know why. I don't know what came over me. I was just like, I kind of don't want to buy this stuff anymore. So I kind of like limited myself to like 2 hobbies instead. Now, the weird part is that I have like this huge closet full, and I'm talking about like full of Gundam model kits that I'm not building. Mostly because like if I build it, I don't have anywhere to put it. So that's the big problem with having Gundam model kits right now, is that I don't know where it's gonna go. But I like building Gundams. Gundams were fun, you know, at the time. Gundams are still fun. It's just that I just decided to just tone down on different hobbies. So I still play TCGs, but I don't buy new sets of cards. I don't try to stay in, I guess, for a lack of a better word, in the meta. I don't do that anymore. I don't collect video games anymore. Now, if I see something I like, I'll buy it, but I don't I guess, jump on it, like, just because, like, oh man, I'm probably never gonna get that, because I used to do that. I used to do that a lot. I used to say to myself, oh man, you know, I'm probably never gonna play this game ever in my life, so I should probably buy this now. And then like a week later, after I spent like $150 on something, like something else comes out, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta get that. Nowadays, I'm just like, if I play it, I play it. Because a lot of times what I notice is like, we tend to think that we're never gonna get something, so we tend to just overspend and buy. And I kind of stopped that. And that was one of the things why I slowed down with manga. One of the things I noticed is that I was overspending on manga that I wasn't reading. And if I did read it, I was just like, it's alright, you know, and I kind of got rid of it. Oh, I kind of just kept it on my shelf. I didn't get rid of it. But nowadays, I've decided to whenever I want to read something, I don't just buy a manga just because, you know, I'm like, I gotta read that. I have to, in my head, be very, very sure that I'm gonna read this. I don't know when this started, like I said, it just kind of happened. So like Golden Kamuy, for example, like I started reading this and I got really into it, and now I'm like, oh man, I'm so gonna continue to read this, and I really do like it. Same thing for like I Am a Hero and stuff like that. But what I noticed is, hold on, I need some water. What I noticed is, so you guys know I like Children of the Whales. I think Children of the Whales is pretty good. But for some reason, I don't know what happened, I bought volume 4 and everything kind of stopped. It's like I don't know what happened. I just kind of like, I'll get to it, and I think the book is good, but for some reason I just kind of just lost interest, and I'm wondering to myself, I'm like, did I really like the book that much then? I mean, you know, did I? I mean, I can honestly say I like loved like I Am a Hero. I loved Golden Kamuy. Well, I love it because I'm reading it still. But there's like a lot of books that I was buying and I would just go like, it's good, I'll continue to read that. And then I'll like keep buying a series and I'm just like, yeah. Do I really want to continue to buy a series? And I think it started with Fire Punch. So I bought Fire Punch and I thought Fire Punch has some inconsistencies and it has some issues and stuff like that. But it's hard to get into. Like Fire Punch is tough. It's a tough book to get into. But I noticed that things started to go kind of like, I started to pay more attention to what I was buying when I started reading Fire Punch. And then I started reading My Hero Academia. Like, I like My Hero Academia. It's good. My issue with it is that like shonens like kind of wear a little thin for me. Like, I kind of lose interest in shonens after a while. But one book I didn't lose interest in was I Am a Hero, Golden Kamuy, and Pluto. Like, I finally finished Pluto, and I thought Pluto was fantastic. But I definitely felt the need to slow down on spending. And I don't know why I'm making this video, but I feel like making this video is pretty neat. It's I wouldn't say it's like the best video in the world, but it's a video where it's just me kind of having this. Think about if you were having like a conversation with a friend and the topic is just manga and spending on stuff like that. Because a lot of friends were kind of worried about me. They were like, dude, you're not buying anything anymore. Are you like getting out of like the game collecting scene? And I'm like, no, I'm not getting out of the game collecting scene. I'm just paying more attention to what I want is all, instead of just aimlessly buying and stuff like that. But like, there's a lot of like good looking games coming out this year, and I'm not buying all of them. Like Ghost of Tsushima is coming out, and all these other games and stuff like that is coming out, and a lot of my friends were excited for it, and they're like, oh, I'm getting all of them, and I'm like, I'm probably just gonna get Death Strandings, because I don't know, you know, and probably the Spider-Man, because the Spider-Man in my head looks like I would definitely love to, you know, swing around for a couple of hours and have some fun with that. But I definitely have realized that I'm taking more precaution in the things I dive myself into, because I've realized that I'm jumping into a lake filled of just indulgence without looking, and I've decided to just slow down on that kind of thing. Like, if I got into manga and all this stuff when I was a lot younger, I probably would have been like in like debt, like serious debt, because I would have bought every single manga I've ever wanted. Most of it I probably didn't want to read and stuff like that. But luckily I got into it pretty late, so I'm paying more attention to stuff and taking, I guess, more things into account, especially when it comes to stuff like money. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and plastic up this last book. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, this video was actually pretty different, but I had this kind of thing on my mind for a while, and I decided to just go for it and just do it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Peace, guys.